There's Coastline. We're going to be playing on that. I know it's really weird to see.
These teams hate Coastline. Like Vitality haven't played it this year at all. BDS have banned it. I think maybe second most with Consulate. I think it's up there. They literally despise Coastline. So I am genuinely shocked to see both teams choosing this as their first game. Wow.
But this is what's happening, man. Like we saw Empire VP. They went to Clubhouse and Empire wins 7-1. And you're like, okay, what's happening here? Chaos Tempra. They go to Coastline. You're like, why would you take Tempra on there? And Chaos also have their strength on it. Same thing. I don't know. It's really odd. We have to go through this. I really want to put this in everybody's heads. Even though these are a lot of the teams and the names that you've been seeing for so many years, this is really a different state of mind and of gameplay that we've had. The meta's changed. The way that people set up now is different. And a lot of coaches themselves have had their own imprint of these teams where players themselves just don't have the time and the enough space because they're focused on so much to look at things in the wide description. And just you yourself having coached know how important that is with everybody picking up their own 2-3 person, rosters for their coaching staff.
Yeah, look, they brought in Helby. That's going to be a really important part of their staffing lineup. So I hope that he has the impact that he's looking to have and that he has had on other teams as well.
Predictions. Jess, what do you think?
I really can't call it. I think Vitality will win, but I'm not sure the scoreline for this one since it is Coastline.
Des?
I'm going BDS. I think the fragging lineup on this side is a bit too terrifying right now. I'll probably call it a Coast game, though. 7-5 Coastline.
What do people think at home? Again, Rainbow Six Esports EU. You can go vote on there on Twitter. Do we have something from the viewers? Yes, we do. 73% for Vitality. Wow. All right, let's head into game. Coastline. Enjoy.
Hello, welcome to the casting desk. I'm here with old mate Hap. Hap, how you doing tonight?
G'day, mate. Yeah, I practiced that for the longest of time. But yeah, no, I'm doing mighty fine. I just did the first 2 matches and we're going back to Coastline again. So I can't wait. I must say, though, I expect BDS to win due to the fact it's Coastline and it's very frag heavy and BDS, more known for fragging than for their strategy.
I might actually hark back to something that Derry mentioned there in the pre-desk, which was that this is the insta-ban for both of these teams.
Yeah.
We're in Coastline. It is a map that neither Vitality nor BDS call home, but it's our location for this matchup right here. It's going to be a barn burner. Vitality, this is the first match they are playing with the new roster. That really matters. High stakes are here. All your favorite players are in the server. Let's get started.
Let's get started indeed. It's Vitality to start out on to the attack. And it's going to be the first ban for BDS. Now, Fabian already sending in the bees right there, with the buzzing. Has to live up to his new organization, of course, and it's the capital to be removed by BDS. No more asphyxiating bolts or smoke, or micro smokes, I must say, to be deployed.
Yeah, and I guess it means there's a couple more places that you can sit safe, whether it's behind the bar in Aqua or at the plant, the Vase and outside Hookah. A couple more little options for you. And as for that Hibana ban from Vitality there, I mean, you're talking about Hibana being the primary hard breach you would take on Coastline if you're going to bring one. Main usage is on those cocktail walls when you're attacking that Hookah bomb site. You can do that from the roof nice and safe. Also open some good angles when you're attacking kitchen as well, but that's primarily it. Also, the Goyo banned out, so that's something we don't see banned out a ton, but still a very powerful operator. We've seen it used consistently on Coastline just earlier today as well. And wow, okay. I mean, happy we're pretty treated here to some unusual bans, and I love it.
Now, the thing is, right, with Echo being basically banned 24/7 due to the current state of the operator, we just get different kind of bans. So it's kind of interesting to see, of course, how that plays out, and this is kind of the result, right? We get like these unusual bans, which will give us like unusual matches, you can almost say. But it's good to have a change for once, just to see who's the better adapting team.
Remember, it wasn't that long ago though, Vitality were looking like a super team after they picked up players like Hungry and Goga, and now you add to that Rise from Rogue and Fabian from G2, and I mean Fabian being that IGL taking on that leadership role for the team, it may well be what Vitality needs to take it to the next level. But let's jump into it. Yana brought out by Goga straight out of the gate. If I'm not wrong, this is the first time I've seen Yana taken in a top level T1 professional match, so I am stoked. I love the Yana. I think that the what's that, like the little hologram device thing?
The Gemini replicator.
Gemini. The Gemini replicator. I love that.
She's a Dutch operator, so I have to know.
I forgot that, but yeah, there you go. On for the homeboys there. Yeah, and Yana's just a fantastic way of gathering information. We saw how starved the attackers were for information on our just most recent match there with Tempera there on their attacks. And Yana is a fantastic way. It's basically free drones every few seconds. So fantastic. And I'm keen to see how Goga's going to whip it out.
Yeah, and not just that, you can also use it, of course, in like a refragging position. You're just running your Gemini and someone tries to run right after, because of course the defenders are going to be shooting at it nonetheless, because you never know if it's the real deal or not, and it might be setting you up to go for some trades with the Gemini, making sure that you keep the bodies on the board. But talking about bodies on the board, it's Shaika to take the first one. It's Bibu to be spawn killed. Will not come further than the Lamborghini, as he will be shut down. It's going to be putting Vitality at a pretty big disadvantage from the start, because Zofia brings a lot of utility to the board.
Let's take a look at this Gemini. Goga gathering some info, just face checking a couple areas. That's going to help out Rise as well a lot. Look at how keen Goga is, just gathering as much info as possible, but Rise is shut down there. Shaiko still unpunished and able to rotate back towards Office. Vitality really struggling to deal with the aggression from that Frenchman, the man himself, who we know to be so untouchable. And BDS off to a very strong start here.
Definitely off to a strong start. Shaiko managing to pick up 2 kills, basically, as you said, uncontested. He lost half his HP as soon as he tried to fall back out of security, go back towards the office into a more controlled area by the rest of his team. He did take down Rise, he did take down Bibu. That's 2 of the, well, explosive out of the way. Now, they do not have that many shields on the likes of BDS, but they do definitely have those evil eyes. It's going to be a lot harder right now to take care of them. You really have to use your frag grenades if you want to take care of them. Might be making it a bit harder. Frag grenade in the meantime getting cooked out. There's 2 people at this drone hole. That could have been a double kill, but Hungry decided to not go for it.
Gemini will show the way.
Goga back on the Gemini. Let's have a look at this nade. It works. Hungry. Oh, the player moves just out of the way. Renshiro's got to be counting his lucky scars for that one. Goga trying to bait out some kind of presence here, and nade goes forth, but still BDS have that numbers advantage, and they're just waiting for that timer to tick on down. Vitality fighting from behind with 1 minute left. Goga in aggressive position. Vitality need to start finding these picks. BDS, they're ready and waiting for the action to come.
Definitely another grenade being tossed in there. Will be bouncing off, but not enough damage. It's just cooked a bit too much there, as it's Hungry finally to be getting the first kill of Vitality there. Lem's already managed to pick up one. Shaiko now taken care of. It's just Fabian, however, on the board for Vitality. Managed to get 1 pre-fire, managed to get the double kill on, but he's getting pre-fired straight away. But one of these big guns on the sides of BDS, and it's going to be Lems with the Commando 9 to finish it off with a final headshot. BDS will be taking round number 1 after basically an explosive start of Shaiko, taking down 2 impactful players on the likes of Vitality. And right now they will have to repick themselves up and make sure that doesn't happen again once and no more. Let's hope that they actually learn from their mistakes.
Yeah, look, I gotta say, those 2 kills from Shaiko right at the beginning spelled death for Vitality. And while they did make some good entries, gotta say, namely the push up from the VIP hallway, and I believe it was Hungry to jump over the vase and find that kill and take that position. It was a good attempt, but in a 3v5, how much can you do, really? I feel like we've hyped up Vitality a lot here, but let's remember BDS, right? These guys came 4th in the 6th Invitational. They are objectively one of the best teams in the world, and their performance in the last Pro League season really didn't give them credit for that, because they came at the very last, the bottom point, but they just come about winning $200,000 from the SI. So I think these guys have got to be pretty happy with themselves in the grand scheme of things. Of course, they made that roster change. They brought on that new player, and I feel like maybe this is their opportunity to just get back in the game. You know, they've got Playday from previously, Vitality, in fact. facing his own team right here. Perhaps this is the moment when BDS can get back to the form that they had at the Sixth Invitational.
Definitely. So, like, as you said, at the Sixth Invitational, at some point they were EU's last hope, really, to well, have some side on the title. Eventually, it didn't really work. It was Space Station Gaming that won it in the end. But yeah, BDS, they made some changes. Many people said or were critical about RX and his performance, and eventually BDS decided that a change was necessary to move forward. Playday got brought in, and well, he is, as mentioned before, an outstanding player that you would really like to have, especially in like an anchor position. Like if you enable him to go for a clutch, 9 out of 10 times he will be making sure it happens, and that is something that they kind of need in the likes of BDS, because often Shaiko just runs in and guns, and either he gets kills or he falls, and if he falls without any impact, that's going to be putting more pressure on the rest of his team, and you really need a player like Playday to catch up on that.
Credit to BDS though. After finding those aggressive picks last round, they backed off, didn't overextend. Their aggression is tamed, and it is clever and well calculated. Lem's here to find a C4. Bibu, once again, the first player to fall for Vitality. Not able to find any traction here. Baiting the shots out is Rafael. Shaiko playing at 90, a power position, just waiting for this player to peek him. He's eager to take this fight, and he loses it, in fact. Rise steps up huge for his team and finds that first engagement for his side. It's the first little bit of work that Vitality needs here.
And definitely is the first one on the board for the likes of Vitality. Is going to be potentially enabling them to get back into this round, because of course they lost one player early. Shaiko has now been taken care of. Bringing it back to a 4-on-4 into a kitchen take. Now, yes, you lost your Sophia, so that's no more concussions, no more impacts that you can use. You have to try and make work with it. Otherwise, as Hungry actually gets a C4 from below, will be dealing quite a lot of damage. Gemini here will be able to find Rafael. He will be taken care of, but Playday then comes in with a double kill onto both Rice and Fabian. It looks like a vertical angle to be used. Not quite sure where both these players fell, so I can't really see them. Is it maybe in the lobby that they were? Because he peeked out, picks up a triple kill as well, and knows the last one is in the lobby. It's going to be for Rafael to pick up the last one onto Goga. And with that, the second round will go to BDS as well. And well, they might have hated Coastline before, but they're definitely looking better on it as of yet compared to Vitality.
Yeah, wow. One way to assert dominance. And we were talking just earlier in the previous game. We often look at Coastline and think this is where the attackers should be winning most of their rounds, right? But once again, seems to be a defensive favored situation here. On the previous map, it was, what, 8 defensive rounds won compared to just 4 on the attacking side. And look, I don't know whether this is BDS saying we're here to stay, or whether maybe there's a chance for Vitality once they switch over onto the defense. But I think you've got to look at things one step at a time, right? If you're Vitality and you're saying, well, we keep getting early picks against us with no trade, and it's been Bibu both times. First time we was caught off in a gunfight with Shaiko, second time it was that C4 from Alem. So we need to see something from Vitality to just have a little bit better control with BDS. Don't let them dictate the pace at the start of these rounds.
And that's the thing, as the attacker, you're kind of the one that has to try and dictate the pace, right? Like, you're the one that decides when you push and where to push. But BDS right now is basically playing them perfectly. They're throwing them into the positions where they want them to be. They managed to actually pick them up with their C4s and utility. And due to that, they, well, basically handicapped them enough that by the time they finally managed to reach the side, they're so outgunned and outnumbered that there's little to nothing they can do. And Playday right there, picking up that double kill as well into the lobby, doesn't really help your cause as Vitality. So they really have to start changing things up. They need to find a way to work around the current ways and methods that BDS seems to be using. So we are going to the bar. We might get a more horizontal approach this time, due to the fact that, of course, mostly it's just one player really inside.
Like this from Vitality, though, bringing out that Lion, trying to suppress this aggression, and look at the confidence we see from Rise. He has stepped it up so far on these entries, and we're back on the Ash here. Keen to take more fights. Vitality, they're not afraid of BDS. They know that they're a good team, they respect them, but they're not scared to take these fights. Pushing up together now, dodging that C4 is Hungry. Good information gathering, that said, from Renshiro. So BDS will be aware of this heavy stack from Vitality, be able to move around it.
Definitely will have to try and move around it, but all this information is of course going to be fed into the rest of the BDS lineup and squad. We'll be able to deal with that properly. Basically 3 to 4 people got spotted out, so they're going to be aware of it. And so some switching happening right there, just to try and get some information. Second C4 being tossed in now, meaning no more left on the likes of BDS to try and pick up one of these players. Something that in the last couple of rounds, they should at least get them 1 kill per round. Will now not happen, meaning they will have to rely more on gun skill and gunfights. There's only, well, some smoke canisters left, and the Evil Eyes to try and deny any plant to go through. Goga's already standing by. It's hungry, however, to get the first kill. For once, it's Alems to fall. And with that, they start opening up into the site. One where they actually need to get that plan down. Buck still trying to open up, trying to create these verticals, hoping to be able to find Renshiro. That pulse just not enough. He's just too far back, and will make him go further. He not able to get any takedown onto Renshiro, who does get spotted. Bibo, however, managed to get the kill onto Shaiko. Plant going down from Goga right now, but he's going to get taken down by that smoke. The canister will be fatal to him. Renshiro now responds to Rise as well. It's back in a 3-on-3 situation with 50 seconds left.
50 seconds is a long time. 3 versus 3, as you mentioned, but Fabian low HP. Playday still with 2 gas babes in his pocket. Fabian falls to that vertical from Renshiro. Not afraid to fight back through those holes. Just on Hungry and Bibu so far. Bibu's not really showed up so far at all. Just found the 1 kill this round. It needs to step it up for a lot more than that. 2 players left for Vitality. 20 seconds now. Hungry takes the diffuser in his hands, but Rafael is ready to deny this with the Evil Eye, just waiting. But Sledgehammer's going to deal with that. Nice on and easy. Playday likely still with 1 gas canister though, and that's going to ring on out. Surely that's going to choke Hungry out, but can the flank go down? It does. No, it doesn't! And there you go, BDS out of the skin of their teeth. Just lock it out. Vitality, absolutely no chance of getting that one.
Just by the last very tick, he will get down by that smoke canister. And with that, they also managed to get the round by just quickly fragging the last one. But oh my god, that was so close right there. But it's going to be BDS to go 0-3 up right now against the likes of Vitality. Too many seen as a, well, another super team really, but so far not able to get their mark in yet. They got really close this round, but then suddenly it all turned around due to, well, the players of BDS just stepping up and getting kill after kill, and well, suddenly retaking the advantage that they lost early on. Vitality now will be going back to attack Hookah and Billiards. They already did this once. I get the well, have the experience they need now to adapt properly and get a good attack out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
This is really where we start to look at Vitality and say, there's been so much hype behind this roster. I feel like that viewer predictions slanting 70% their way should speak to it. BDS showing up like the team that we have come to expect from them, and it seems like Playday is the player that they needed to lock out and overcome the weaknesses that they experienced during the Pro League season. But Vitality, I mean, from everything we've heard about their scrims improving gradually, about what Fabian as the IGL and captain and leadership figure for this team, what he has brought to the table, I'm just not seeing that so far for Vitality, and we really need to expect, I think, at some point, some answer for Vitality, but they're just caught with their hands tied at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, and of course Fabian only recently joined their lineup, and well, Vitality had some quite big changes at the start of this season, so they might still need some time to get used to one another, whilst BDS only, well, replaced RX for Playday. Will be playing the same role, might even do it a little bit better. It's Shaiko yet again with the entry. It's Rise to fall. My fellow Benelux player will no longer have any impact on this one. Hasn't had his best game as of yet, not really able to shine, but I mean, who on Vitality is actually able to step up so far? It's not really like they've had the opportunity to show up. They keep getting shut down.
Cover me! Reloading!
Those opening engagements just seem to always sway for BDS, and Shaiko in particular, man, seems to be unstoppable. So much confidence, and the real highlight for me is Vitality never able to trade these back. So it seems Bibu was not far away from Rise, but I guess touching distance wasn't enough. Now Vitality, top floor clear. Of course, this is a Hookah attack. Bibu's made some good ground here. Fabian as well. completely cleared Aqua now. But Playday playing inside a cocktail is going to delay this push for a very long time. Of course, Shaiko downstairs can deny plants from below. Still 5 players up for BDS, and control downstairs makes this very difficult for Vitality to get a successful plant off, even if they took the ground that was required.
Definitely need to take some extra ground before they can finally go in for that plant. They seem to have aquarium control right now, taking care of that bulletproof chem as well. That will be feeding them information about the 90 hallway. Shiro, however, is going to be aware of that, as he clearly heard that coming in. Watching the drone all right here, could be potentially picking up a kill or two if he kept on watching that one. Eventually will not happen. The E1D will be popping off, allowing Vitality to gain some ground, but there's little to nothing they can do with it as of yet. So BDS not really peeking, not really giving it to them. With 50 seconds left, they need to make a move, Dev.
Look at these rotations from BDS. Players rotating downstairs, and this evil eye in the bomb site. Oh no! That's embarrassing for Bibu, and the kills all go the way of BDS. How is it that Fabian left outside? The lone man, Hungry found a kill with the nade onto Playday, but aside from that, really Vitality has had nothing. Now the best player in the world is sitting on this hookah balcony, just waiting for a player to feed him.
He's just going to be holding this, using this as a tactical timeout, really. Not making too much noise, just waiting for someone to peek him. The calls seem to be coming out. It seems like they're aware of the fact that he is currently located at that position. They also know he's not going to be able to make a play here, and Fabian just quickly using this probably to talk to the rest of his team to maybe set up an attack for the next round to increase their chances of success.
You have run out of time.
Yeah, there you have it. I mean, for BDS, they are so good at winning early engagements and then just not forfeiting the advantage at all. We didn't see BDS playing aggressively whatsoever there in that 5 versus 4. They had that early C4 kill, and then from there on, it was just a 3 players on the top floor around hookah and near the bomb site, 1 in cocktail, and 2 players downstairs. That 3-2 split, and they rotated which players were above and below. They rotated the Valkyrie downstairs as she has the C4, and got the Vigil back upstairs, kind of confused a little bit for Vitality. But I mean, BDS are just playing Vitality like a fiddle right now, and there seems to be no response at all from this brand new Vitality roster.
There definitely seems to be no response indeed. Like Vitality, they keep on trying to go for an execute, Dev, but they don't really manage to get into the site deep enough, or actually with enough pressure to get their plans down, and that seems to be their main issue now. Now we are going to Kitchen. That is maybe going to be giving them an opportunity to go for a faster kind of playstyle, maybe a fast plan to come through. Like, would that be an opportunity for them to try and make something happen?
I mean, in theory, yeah, I could see Vitality getting away with something a bit cheeky, a bit cheesy. They do have the Lion on top of it, and we've seen how powerful those E1Ds can be, specifically on this map, cutting off those rotations. But I feel like BDS has such good positioning that they're not really going to get so punished by that. And this control on the top floor is going to be difficult to clear out for Vitality. And as such a new roster, I don't know if they have the level of comms required and the level of coordination just quite at that point yet where they can realistically clear out this whole top floor hold and then clear out lobby and then finally get an execute onto the site. So look, maybe a bit of a cheese pick is warranted here, but I just don't see that even being successful.
And the issue here, of course, is as well that Coastline is a very frag-heavy map, and while BDS is kind of known for their frag-heavy playstyle, so by nature already favors them quite a bit, whilst, well, old Vitality was known for their strategical approach, and now I assumed that with the addition of Fabian, that will kind of come back, right? You want to go back to that little strategic kind of playstyle you have, especially with Goga, you know, the best planter in the world. It really all looks like a current setup like that, but so far, not really going to be able to do anything. Hello, Fabian gets the entry onto LMs. We'll be changing things up a little bit and maybe allow them to, well, bounce off of this one and potentially get around Dev.
That's a pretty pivotal kill there from Fabian. Taking out that power player and the power position behind the lobby desk, and Vitality have made some fantastic ground here as well. Completely cleared Sunrise, and Rise himself is actually ready, just about to peek on inside, but Shaiko's got something to say about it. The flashbang goes out. The E1D is going to scan out Shaiko. He's going to run straight away. But meanwhile, Rise is making a full send into the bomb site. Hungry finds that opening exchange, but Playday holding fast. Goga for the trade, and now the bomb site has been flipped on its head. BDS have to retake 2 versus 3 here. Make that a 1 versus 3. All on Shaiko. We know he's good, but is he good enough to make this happen? Vitality, they've looked so poor so far, but this could be their opportunity. Shaiko, 1 HP and a dream, but the E1D is going to make it so difficult for him. Just Goga and Hungry to hold. Shaiko, does he have what it takes? His team has been flawless so far, but BDS will be waiting on their star player to make this move. 2 1v1s is all it's going to take, but Vitality come away with their first attacking round.
Yeah, there was no way that round would have been going over to BDS as soon as this 2v1 was currently being played. You saw the Slimes playing on contact right there. As soon as the line was going to get picked, he would peek out as well. Make sure that they would be able to at least trade and not force any 1v1s like that. So Vitality, they managed to actually overwhelm the likes of BDS onto the kitchen site. They managed to completely clear it out, get that plant down, and in the after plant, there was nothing BDS could do. They tried to peek in to get those kills, to outgun them. Vitality that was ready for it, and with that, they will take their first round. Let's hope they can at least, well, tally up one more in this half to try and actually get themselves into a good position to go for a fight.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
With Theory crafting, maybe Vitality had to try something a bit risky, a bit cheesy, go for a rush. But honestly, what Vitality did there was fairly standard. Just they happened to find the opening engagement, which I guess helped out a little bit with taking ground in lobby. But Rise himself taking control of Sunrise and pushing towards the kitchen doorway from bottom blue stairs. I mean, that was essential. Shaiko got scared off, and I've got to say, this line from Goga seems to be hugely impactful so far. And BDS, I wouldn't be surprised if they start feeling a little bit more pressure, especially on their roamers, on their rotations. And maybe Vitality's got a chance to get a bit more of a look in here in this half.
5 seconds to insertion.
I definitely so, but they only have one more opportunity to do so, because after that we are swapping sides. That means Vitality will be going over to the defense, and it's going to be up to BDS to go up to that attack. See how that happens. Well, quickly looking at the round breakdown right there, most of them actually came down by eliminations, only one by time. BDS having, of course, the upper hand in that, hoping to at least finish this in a 5-1 for them.
What that graphic didn't tell you there was Vitality did manage to plant in that previous round, which is quite significant as well. And that really shows that Vitality, when they saw BDS was elsewhere, just hit the bomb site hard and forced BDS to retake. And that was where the tables turned. But a bit more difficult to do here on Blue Bar Sunrise. And with Coastline, it really is a map where you just have to control the entire map. You can't just kind of take a bite out of one corner and try and get a plant down. It's so atypical to do that. And in comp play, we see teams really having to spread their resources thin throughout the entire map. Vitality are a bit warmed up now. 2 minutes to go. Made some good ground here on the top floor, attacking here Sunrise, but depending on how BDS is trying to hold this, let's have a look down in the Sunrise area, see what kind of a stack BDS do have. No one playing aggressively in the west side of Sunrise, but multiple BDS players in positions to deny this plant. Goga drones out Sauna. He sees that it's basically free. He sees that there's no setup there. BB, meanwhile, looking to get some push in through kitchen. BDS fairly spread out, but all on this bottom floor. So Fabian's going to start working it, seeing if he can find any of these anchors.
They're surely going to be aware of the fact that everybody seems to be playing downstairs on the likes of BDS. Gives a little bit more safety of Fabian to actually use that skeleton key and open up, make that work. As they are trying to get themselves the first lines of sight, the first angles into the players. As I already heard one of the C4s pop, it's the one of the lamps. The Ventura also was C4 as well, so no more deniability in that case. Only 3 more smoke canisters, and of course the evil eyes left on the likes of BDS. So 1 minute to go. They really need to start baiting that utility, because otherwise they might get in trouble when they want to try and force that plan to go through, because all 50 seconds on the clock and not a single kill or a point of damage been done yet. And as I say, that Shaiko picks up right to start things off on this very long ammo right here from the office.
There is 1 kill from Bibu, but this is where things start to look grim. Just under 40 seconds left for Vitality to make this happen. You can see the planter, Goga himself, looking to come in through Sauna, but don't forget, Playday, with 3 gas canisters in his pocket. Goga does find that opening on Shaiko. That evens up the numbers a little bit. But Brede still has those gas canisters, and that could come in so impactful. He may use one to cover his flank. First gas canister thrown out. That's going to deny the plant, but Goga can get aggressive. Exposed to the rotation hold, the Evil Eye harassing him as well. 15 seconds. Goga has to get this plant down. The BDS are doing a good job shutting it down. Brede, the man to step up. It's all on him. Can he deny this plant? Bibu has to hold it. Can the plant get denied? Goga forcing it down. But Brede, the newest player for BDS with a huge clutch to shut down Vitality.
Twice already, his smoke canisters coming in clutch right here, and twice it was on the bars right there. Managed to drop down the diffuser at the last very second, and with that, let the timer run out. Brede, the absolute, well, you can almost say MVP so far of the lineup. Yes, Shaiko gets a lot of kills and like very flashy plays, but it's Brede that manages to twice win that round by just putting up those smoke canisters at the right time. Also currently on the top of the leaderboard with 8-on-2. Showing that he has been the right addition, at least for so far in the season, for BDS.
I'm still reeling from that hap. That was absolutely nuts. And what a way to shut out Vitality from this game. If you're looking at a 4-2 deficit going into your second half onto the defense, I mean, things aren't impossible. It's going to be tough. You're going to have to win 5 defenses rather to match it and manage to actually surpass it and get that 3 points at the end of the rainbow here. But Vitality need a flawless half here on their defensive side to lock out those 3 points and take home the maximum they can. BDS look to be on fire. I think it's totally likely they're going to shut out Vitality from this and take the 3 points away. Vitality, maybe there's an opportunity that they can claw in just enough defense to scrape a draw, but I mean, if BDS take the confidence from that attack, from that defensive half now onto their attack, I just don't see Vitality getting any opportunity to respond.
5 seconds to insertion.
And not just that, but like they were in such a good position to win that last round as well, the likes of Vitality. And then at the last very second, you lose it out due to the fact that a smoke canister comes in. That is going to be hurting you, especially when it happened twice already. Might actually come back to haunt them as well. Maybe we'll treat them with a little bit of discomfort going into the first round of this second half. And if BDS managed to actually capitalize on that straight away, they might be able to close this out within 2 rounds from here. Otherwise, Vitality might get the opportunity to get back on their feet, and you don't really want to have that right now if you're a BDS fan. Jess is going to be happy about this one, that's for sure. Especially if they can close it out like this.
Great to see BDS back in form after, a disappointing season in the Pro League, but showing their true potential at 6 Invitational just prior. But I think we're really looking at Vitality here. These are the guys with the totally revamped roster, completely different captain, and a team of star players that just don't seem to be able to start anything. We do have Shaiko aggressive here inside kitchen, pulling out the goo mine from his foot. Rise ready to peek on out, hopefully punished, but he gets spotted out on the drone. Is Rise punished here? No, he's not. Manages to get back into the bomb site. BDS seem to still be in control with that first pick on their side. Just progressing forth from here on.
Not just that, but they also took quite some valuable control of that kitchen. It's basically cutting their rotation potential off, making sure they're not going to be able to use that door anymore. Fabian still right here in security with that but the question is he going to be seen? Yes, he is. The pre-fire from Brede will come in. And who else to expand on that one? Is not going to be Shaiko, not the star player today. It's the support of Brede that seems to be carrying BDS through, at least so far, and it's going to be opening things up even more. They know the last 3 players are going to be inside right now. Rafal has this drone right here. They're going to be aware of the fact that Rise is juggling about Office and Blue Bar. All they need to do is get their angles right now. 55 seconds left, and another kill comes in. Rafal from the roof to pick up Bibu. This is not going as expected. Alems at least will be taken down by Rise. They start responding, but as Rise falls now as well, it's only up to Goga to try and make this happen. Goes for the shotgun on that range. It's not really that impactful, and it's going to be BDS to win round number 7, pick up their 6th round, and being only 1 away from reaching the top.
Today, we looked into the schedule thinking, okay, we got the double Russian match, VP versus Empire. That's going to be a crazy game. Ended up going 7-1. We looked at the one of several, I might say, European super team Vitality. and thinking, yeah, they'll take a fight to BDS, who went out of form from that Pro League. But man, BDS have really turned it up. And I've got to say, Playday has got to be happy. He's going up against his former team right now, and he's copping a 2.0 KD. Absolute revenge tour right now, saying, you're going to drop me, I'm going to go join the French team, and we're going to beat you guys.
And Vitality definitely have to be afraid of this, as of course they're also facing against them in the French league. And yeah, you know, Vitality seem to be, well, were, I believe, the #1 team in the French league last time around. I'm pretty sure if that is going to be continuing to go like that if BDS plays like this.
So what is it that has to change here for Vitality? No traction on their attacks aside from one round where they just managed to steal site from BDS, and look, absolutely no traction on their defenses whatsoever. They're changing up the bomb site over to Hookah, but is this really enough? What do Vitality need to control and regain their balance? I mean, even if it's not, you know, pushing full from here and getting to that tie and actually getting a point on the board, Vitality can at least hope for a few consolation rounds, which will make the difference later on in the standings. Alluded to earlier, the tiebreakers can be broken by round difference, so every round that you win gets you closer to getting victorious in the tiebreakers. So, look, I've got to say, what is it that Vitality need? Because whatever it is, we need to start seeing it soon.
Yeah, Vitality definitely needs to change quickly if they want to have an opportunity at still going home with at least 1 point today. And I mean, we've saw Tempera go for a comeback. The question is, are they going to be able to do so as well? Right now, Playday managed to put down 1 or 2 rounds into Rise. Not enough to take him down, but enough to get him a little bit of a scare. He'll be hungry, though, to get the entry onto Rinshiro. Lem's also being tagged down quite a bit. BDS not looking the healthiest right now in this round so far, but they know they have the opportunity to go at it again for the full 3 points for 4 more other rounds, even if they lose this one. A 5-3, well, seems to favor Vitality.
BDS know that they're in control. Wait patiently, establish strong positions, wait for Vitality to run around. BDS have that patience. Shaiko in the kitchen here. No full info, so he'll drone up. Likely to spot Rise. Bibu as well on the roam. Rise did take out that drone, and the Valkyrie camera here, rather the default camera, is going to help out Rise in this one. Alicia Mine's going to put Shaiko in a very awkward spot and might try and pull that out, but there you go from Playday. That's exactly what we need to see. Taking down Rise. A few love taps from poor Bibu here, but he's caught between a rock and a hard place. BDS, once again, an exemplary performance to punish this aggression from Vitality, but we do end this in a 3 versus 3, and Vitality have that HP advantage because Playday is just so lit up. Where do we move from here? 3 versus 3, no control of the bomb site, still Aroma downstairs. BDS, do they have the composure they need?
Well, that's the question indeed. Hungry, just waiting patiently behind the Sunrise bar right there, knowing that he's in a very important position as all these goo mines seem to pop. They need to go for the actual site now. There's 40 seconds left. There's not much time to actually try and keep up contesting. Another angle being opened up right here by Shaiko, allowing Rafael to try and assist. They know someone is downstairs on this position, and they try to pincer him with 3 people at a time. Shaiko managed to pick up Fabian. He's going to give away his position. Now he's going to be pre-fired as Shaiko picks up the second one as well. And even if it was a 5-on-3 situation, it seems to be falling into the likes of BDS. It's only up to Goga now, going down on these cool bike stairs, but no one is going to be coming from there. Actually, it is. He gets it down onto Shaiko, but his position is now. He's on 1 HP. The spots are coming through. This has to be the saving grace that he might be able to use. Is he going to be able to get in time? Yes, he will be, but he's not going to be able to get Brit in time, as it's an indestructible wall, it looks like, and the Platinum is going to be going down. With that, it's 45 seconds left on the clock. Playday is low. It's up to Rafael to try and make the, heavy lifting right here for this round, and yes, he will. It's Rafael to get the last one, and it's BDS to finish it from a 5v3 all the way up to a 3v0, and they managed to get it 7-1, an absolute shutdown of Vitality.
From 4th place at the 6th Invitational, winning $200,000 to last place in the European Pro League Season 11, BDS established their dominance here in their inaugural match of the European League, establishing their dominance over the newly reborn Vitality Hap. Now, that was an absolute treat in an exemplary way to play Coastline from BDS. I cannot express how impressed I am with their performance.
Yeah, definitely. They were just constantly on point. They constantly had their trades and duos ready to actually go into those gunfights. If they funnel them one way, someone will be there waiting for them to take that gunfight actively. And of course, Playday there to make 2 clutches happen really with his smoke canisters. I think that's the key part of the story of this matchup today. Absolutely stunning performance from him.
Isn't it just fantastic when you see a player who's on the heavy utility and support roles, who's making not only an impact with his utility, in Playdays case with the Smoke Babes denying plant, as you said, 2 rounds during his half, but also top fragging his team. It was like 11 or 12 by the end of it. Absolutely nuts stuff. And to do that in one of your first matches with your new team, after jumping over from the opposition and beating your former teammates, I mean, that's one way to make a statement and really hit hard home to Vitality.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to make a statement. And this BDS is better. People better be scared of this one, because I think that we're going to be seeing quite a lot more from them, especially if we saw how they played just now. But let's throw it over to Gassan with a very happy fangirl on the analyst desk.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hoppers. Yeah, so we talked about new players just as. Honestly, Playday worth every single cent. This is why we hyped him up so much.
He needs a pay rise. If I've ever seen a man that needs a pay rise, and I don't know if he got bought out or whatever the deal was, but oh my God, give that man more money. You can see so much impact from him, and everyone might look at his frag and his frags and go, well, he had a huge impact. And I'm going to say he had an impact on almost every part of the round, mostly played support and flex. So to have such high numbers, I mean, infallible, if I can say that.
I mean, BDS as a whole team were playing so well, right, Des? I mean, you saw them every single time just picking apart the players of Vitality, even though at some points Vitality had this vertical control. We were talking about this when we were watching the game together. It's just Vitality take the vertical control, and then instantly, it's like they were baited by BDS into it.
I think it was round number 3. We sat there and watched them take this kind of slow vertical control, and we were like, they don't know what's going on. They're not quite sure why they aren't being contested. And before you know it, boom, C4. Next round, boom, C4. The utility just constantly coming out of the side of BDS, whether it was using the pulse scanner, whether it was coming down to Valkyrie and Maestro cams, they were just constantly being fed this. And for the most part, it looked like the side of Vitality couldn't deal with it. And that comes down to the man we spoke about at the start in Shaiko. He was there at the door every single time they were trying to get in the building. Did quieten down a little bit towards the latter half, but a number of times we saw him bringing down Rise, playing on the Ash, and we saw Zofia being taken out as well. All this range soft destruction to deal with things like the Evil Eyes, gone up in smoke, quite literally, and they could never quite find the footing I felt they really needed.
And just you were very, very poignant with a specific thing that you said, is that BDS, to get kills, they use utility first and then rely on their gun later if they have to. How do you even train a player to react this way?
Oh God! I mean, in BDS's case, I think for them the big part was, well, we want to wait until they get inside. If you're anchors and your support, and if we're fraggers, we want to be really dominant. So I think they had a really nice balance of really aggressive players and really passive players, and they all just said, you know what, we are going to focus on using our utility first before we possibly throw our life in a 1v1, 1v2 situation. So players that are smart like that and have a lot of experience, as we're seeing here, will prioritize utility first. And then once that's off the board, I mean, you've got nothing left to lose, do you? So that was really smart from them.
All right, so let's take a look at the rankings so far. We've had 2 runaway games and 1 tie today. You'll see Team Empire at the top with 3 points. BDS there, of course, with 3 points of their own, having won their matchup against Vitality, and Chaos at 1 point versus Tempra's point, as well as, of course, they tied in their own matchup on Coastline. Maybe we'll get to see Coastline more today. No, it's okay. I think a lot of people want to see Oregon, if you ask me. Maybe that'll be something up because we still have 2 more matches to go. We'll see you after the break, and quickly on to our next game.